So my name is Andrea. I am Andrea from OurDayDream.net, Our Daydream Facebook page and group, and also Christian Events mailbox. So today I wanted to go over, and this is 10 changes you can make today that will change your life. And although we learn many things from these self-help books and different things like that, it's until everything's so chaotic that you just can't take it anymore sometimes that you bring about these changes, because we know what we need to change about ourselves, but a lot of times it's just us being stubborn. So number one, the first thing that we can change about our life is when you look at who you are without any outside influences, who do you see? Whenever you're doing self-reflection, what do you see? Is there anything that you may be doing that might actually be hurting yourself? If there's anything negative in your world's view, it's typically how it is that you're actually viewing yourself and what it is that you're actually doing to yourself. So whenever you're actually looking at the world around you and your environment, I have noticed that if I'm like, oh man, my house is a mess, and Andrew, you are such a slacker, and if you would just go ahead and do the things that you need to do, I'm kind of putting myself right now in this lazy state of mind. I'm a victim to being lazy, so that's where I am. Instead, the whole concept is just getting up and doing something. But a good way to reflect is actually to write out what it is that you want and desire, and what it is that you're doing today that is hindering what it is that you're trying to work towards. Because you're worth it, you're worthy, and you can make your dreams come true. It's a state of mind, of effort, yeah. Anything great wasn't, it was something that you had to consistently work at. It's not something that, you try one time and you're like, that didn't really work for me. It's got to be something that you really want and desire. Are you still holding on to the past? Are you holding on to resentments? And if you are holding on to resentments, how is that affecting your daily life? How does that make you feel whenever something that you're walking into actually reminds you of, that situation or that moment? So no matter what your past handed you, resentments are simply punishing yourself for a moment that has passed. There's something positive you can pull from every negative. But forgiveness isn't to say that what that person actually did was acceptable or okay. But forgiveness is saying, God, I'm handing this to you right now. This isn't even my battle that I'm trying to hold on to, and I'm trying to fight this on my own. But God, I'm going to give this to you now, and I'm going to let you work through that person in order to rectify that situation, and I'm going to continue to walk, and I'm going to be free of that burden and resentment. Number 3, how do you react? Are you quick to react before really soaking in the situation? I learned through a coaching thing that I did the one time. It was a lot of our communications, until we start realizing it, we delete a lot of stuff that isn't necessarily suited for us. It's there's a lot of things happening in this room right now. The fan is, moving, and that's making a noise. There's lights on. I'm talking right now. I'm also reading from this phone, and then there's, this image down at the bottom for advertisements that keeps clicking. There's my kid, he's out in the living room watching TV. So if I'm concentrating on every single thing, I'm going to have a really hard time communicating with you. And the same goes whenever you're communicating with other people. Like, you're going to pick out what makes more sense to you. But do you react negatively? And how does it make you feel whenever you react in a negative way? All things that hurt your soul, and you carry it with you, and it can ruin your day. Today is the day to change your reaction. Today is the day to compliment disrespect. Why should you compliment someone who disrespects you? If you react to disrespect, you are actually fueling the fire of the aggressor, as well as taking in their negativity. If you compliment disrespect, you may turn their day around. Ultimately, the truth is that you gain what you are giving. If it is that I'm feeling lonely and I'm reaching out to give love to somebody that's lonely, that's ultimately taking my loneliness away. If I'm feeling sad and I reach out to somebody and try and make them happy, I'm bringing happiness to myself. So it is that if somebody's coming to you aggressively, sometimes they just need that little bit of a, change in dial from you to change the situation and change maybe the rest of their life. Do the people in your life feed your soul? Number 4. Are you quick to react before soaking in? Wait. What kind of people do you keep in your circle? Do they add happiness to your life? Or are they constantly sucking the happiness out of you? Are they people that raise you up, or are they people that bring you down? Are they the image of the person that you want to be? Sometimes we have to make the choice to love from a distance because our well-being has to be the top priority. No one is worth more than our own happiness. I'm not saying abandon the people in the life you love. I'm simply saying you should do what's best for you and those that you love. Yeah, the Bible speaks about judgment, and people will take that into the format as, like, whenever I'm walking, I have to judge people as to whether or not I communicate with them. But the truth of the matter is that you're supposed to be equally yoked. So, the people that you want in your inner circle, the ones that you're communicating with, you're not going to want to communicate your dreams to somebody that's going to be worse than your inner critic. You want somebody that's going to be like, yeah, like, I've been there before too. Like, so you definitely want to have people around you that's going to inspire the best of you. So, kind of think about your circle and the type of people that you really want to hang out with. And maybe open up your group of friends. Maybe, try to make friends with different people. How do you keep your environment? Is your environment a mess? And when your environment is a mess, how does that make you feel? Chances are you won't be able to truly embrace the new you if your environment is bringing you down. Clean up the chaos. My daughter come in my room the one day. It was a complete disaster, and she's like, Mom, I really want you to look inside of what it is that's happening, because they say that your environment is a direct reflection of what's going on inside, and it's not looking good. And she was right on. I was super depressed during that time period, and I just kind of looked at her like, there was no argument there. So yeah, your environment, whenever it's a mess, it affects you. It affects your mind and the way you're, using it. And also, it's keeping you trapped to depression, which is ultimately going to make your house a mess. So it's just, you're better off to, keep your environments clean, because then your mind will have more space to work on other stuff rather than worrying about what it is that you're not doing. Number 7, are you happy with your daily routine? How do you go about your day? Is there anything you are lacking that brings you a sense of disappointment? Disappointment does not fit the realm of happiness. If your routine makes you unhappy, change it. Go to bed proud of your accomplishments. I always feel better whenever I did stuff productive that day and got stuff finished than if it was that I just had fun drawing all day or something creative. But what's really amazing is whenever I can manage my time effectively enough to where I can do productive things and I can do my creative things too. Plus I can go to work and manage a house. Not always attainable, but with the right routine, I'm sure that I could be able to flourish at that. Plus, continue to try to grow our daydream. Takes a routine, takes a really good routine. So that's something that I definitely know that I need to work on. Is there something that you are putting off doing that would make you happier? Number 8. Do you think about relaying a message to someone but you're too scared? Is there a place you have always wanted to go but never had the money? Maybe you never even left the state, or maybe you've never been able to stick up for yourself. Don't let the limiting beliefs scare you from your happiness. And one thing I know about God is once you decide to be saved and trained up in the way, it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to cross all those barriers that you placed upon yourself, all those limiting beliefs. It's definitely not going to be comfortable all the time because God's trying to grow you outside of what you always knew by faith. Faith will only come whenever you're tested. So it's like, I don't need faith that I'm going to be able to walk across the floor because I just did it like 10 times. But what I am going to need faith for is doing something that I've never done before, because that's going to be more scary for me because I have nothing to base my view off of. So yeah, what is it that has been on your heart and soul forever and you place this limiting belief upon yourself, and how is it that you can actually attain this? Maybe it is that you want to go to another country but you don't have enough money to, but maybe it is that you could figure out a way to save money through every paycheck or whatever it may be, and even if it's just a couple dollars, and whenever it is that you get enough money saved up, then you finally go. I like to tell the younger generation this too, because us adults, we kind of like portray that onto our children, like we can't do this or we can't do that, and we say it in front of our kids, and it kind of limits their mindset of what it is that they can do. And so whenever I talk to the younger generation, I'm like, understand that everybody started from nothing. We were all born babies, so you can do anything it is that you want to do. Understand that if you want to do something, it's not, I wish I could do that. It's, I'm going to do that. So to change that limiting mindset that we place upon ourselves by how we've seen our parents want to do stuff, but they didn't. So do you enjoy your current position? Number 9, does your job make you miserable? If so, what's holding you back? Is the mountain you have to climb worse than working in the same position for the rest of your life? What are you waiting for? Fear and happiness does not correspond. Chase your dreams. Yeah, I was a CNA. I was miserable at this job, and what kept me there is it was a good pay, it had good insurance, and it was the same speech that come out of all the CNA's mouth that wanted to quit this place, but they didn't because they had a good paycheck and there was good insurance. But then that was making every day, miserable, because I knew I was going to have to go into this place dealing with the situations that I had to deal with. But then it was that one day I had lost a resident that I really cared about, and I realized in that moment that I could do anything that I wanted to do. There was nothing actually holding me to this position but my own limiting beliefs. So I, you know, ended up not having that job no more. And so I ended up chasing greener pastures. I went to school, college, and, you know, in my 30s, and, you know, like, you can do anything that you want. You can always go back to college. I went back to college, I was 35. I ended up having to leave, but I do eventually want to go back. And keep continuing on with my schooling. So you can do anything that you want. So number 10, the last one, does your life have purpose? Do you feel like you make a difference in other people's lives? This is very important, because if you are only receiving and not giving, you will be out of balance. You will never be content with what you receive. Same goes if you are always giving out and never receiving. You will feel drained. Give without expectations and receive the gift of pride. Yeah, that's your legacy. Somehow legacy, I think, oftentimes gets turned into like a material situation. But legacy is actually the imprints that you put into this world. It's like um, my mother, she had passed. I don't miss the money. I don't miss, you know, her because of her job role. I miss her because of what she imprinted on my heart. And so, like, that's the legacy that you put down. It's like, how am I teaching people? Like, how am I doing for people? And stuff like that. So definitely, if I don't love myself, I can't give you love. I also can't see the love that you're trying to give me. So it's understanding that if you're lonely, reach out and help somebody that's lonely. If you're sad, reach out and help somebody that's sad. You get what you give out. So, I might as well go ahead and read the conclusion to this blog I wrote in 2019. Your life will not change in an instant. This is a constant evaluation and effort, but over time you will look back at the changes you have made and see the efforts were worth every moment. What changes can you start making today to change tomorrow? Also, I had done a video a while back. It's kind of like doing like a video recording of yourself to like just kind of like talk to yourself and be like, this is where I'm at, you know, and this is what I wish I would change, and this is what I would enhance about myself. This is where I want to go, and different things like that. And then go back, revisit it, and is it like, am I progressing or am I digressing? Like, where are you at in your walk? And so you definitely want to at least be walking really slowly. You definitely don't want to get in a place where you're standing still or moving backwards. Living is about growth. You know, we have to keep growing. Everything grows. You know, that means that you're alive. If you're not growing, you're dead. Dead is, you know, a spiritual sense. There's life and then there's death. So we definitely want to keep growing so that we have life, right? Happiness, peace. So I hope this helps you with maybe like thinking into like your New Year's resolutions. And I definitely remember back before like God had actually saved me. It was like I was like on this repetition, like this conveyor belt, or like a hamster wheel, where you're just like caught in doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. But I feel like if we can manage these 10 things, we could maybe start looking outside of that and start getting a little bit creative in our life and in our walk, and maybe like looking in different ways or learning different views and seeing different things and getting outside of that hamster wheel where you're seeing the same thing every day. It's like Groundhog's Day, you know. I think that's where human suffering lies, is that hamster wheel. It's not moving, it's staying in the same place, you know. But to look outside of that, one of my co-admins from Christian Events Mailbox, Laura, she had posted this morning this beautiful sunrise, and she was like, hello sun. Yesterday all it did was rained all day long. So it's like noticing these things, you know, and appreciating and being grateful for that stuff. But I hope everybody had an awesome day today, and I will see you next Sunday. Like I said, I'm also involved in Christian Events Mailbox, and I'll be on there on Tuesday to chat it up a little bit. So I hope you guys a great night. The week to come, I pray that is blessed and fruitful, and I will see you soon. If you like this message, please share. God bless. Love you. Bye.